Self-love is power, not the kind of power that intimidates or controls, but the kind that liberates and transforms. It's the power to show up for yourself every single day, even when the world feels heavy and the doubts creep in. It's the quiet strength that whispers, "You are enough," even when everything around you seems to scream otherwise. Self-love is where true courage begins. It is the steady ground beneath your feet that gives you the strength to stand tall in the face of adversity and the confidence to walk your path unapologetically. When you cultivate self-love, you develop an unshakable belief in your inherent worth. This belief becomes a powerful anchor, keeping you rooted in who you are, even when the world tries to push you toward being someone you're not. Courage is often misunderstood as the absence of fear. In reality, courage is feeling fear and choosing to move forward anyway. Self-love is what allows you to take that step. It whispers, "You can do this," even when doubt creeps in. It reminds you that failure doesn't diminish your value and success doesn't define it. With self-love, you develop the resilience to face challenges head on because you know that your worth is not contingent on the outcome. One of the most profound ways self-love fosters courage is by allowing you to embrace your true self. When you love yourself, you no longer feel the need to hide behind masks or conform to societal expectations. You stop striving to be what others want you to be and start living in alignment with who you truly are. This kind of authenticity requires immense bravery because it often means going against the grain. It means being vulnerable, risking judgment, and standing firm in your values even when they're not popular. But self-love gives you the strength to say, "This is me and I am enough." Authenticity is not about perfection, it's about honesty. It's about showing up as your full, messy, imperfect self and allowing others to see you that way. Self-love helps you overcome the fear of rejection or criticism that might otherwise keep you from being authentic. It gives you the courage to share your thoughts, feelings, and dreams openly, knowing that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval. When you are true to yourself, you attract people and opportunities that align with your values and desires, creating a life that feels deeply fulfilling and meaningful. Self-love also empowers you to make courageous choices. It helps you say yes to opportunities that scare you but excite your soul. It gives you the strength to walk away from situations that no longer serve you, even when they're comfortable or familiar. Loving yourself means trusting yourself, your instincts, your abilities, and your journey. This trust fuels your courage, allowing you to take risks, embrace change, and pursue your passions wholeheartedly. Ultimately, self-love is the foundation of both courage and authenticity because it shifts the way you view yourself. When you truly value who you are, you no longer need to seek validation or approval from others. You no longer need to prove your worth because you already know it. This inner strength creates a ripple effect, enabling you to show up boldly and authentically in every aspect of your life. With self-love, you become unstoppable, not because you're fearless, but because you're unafraid to face your fears. In a society that often celebrates perfection, perfect looks, perfect achievements, perfect lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that being flawed makes you unworthy. This mindset keeps us stuck, constantly chasing an ideal that doesn't exist. But here's the truth. Our imperfections are not barriers to growth. They are the very gateway to it. When we stop trying to hide or fix everything we see as a flaw, we open ourselves up to transformation, healing, and an authentic way of living. Embracing your imperfections doesn't mean settling for less or giving up on self-improvement. It means accepting that being human means being imperfect. And that's not just okay, it's beautiful. When you acknowledge your flaws, you give yourself permission to grow. You shift the focus from shame and self-criticism to curiosity and learning. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you begin asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this as a stepping stone? This mindset change is where real growth begins. One of the most profound effects of embracing imperfection is the release of shame. Shame thrives in secrecy and self-criticism. When you hold yourself to an impossible standard, every mistake feels like proof that you're failing. But when you embrace your imperfections, shame loses its power. You begin to see that mistakes are not evidence of your inadequacy, but part of your journey. You realize that everyone stumbles and struggles, that it's not a reflection of your worth, but of your humanity. Growth also requires vulnerability, and embracing imperfection opens the door to that vulnerability. When you let go of the need to present a flawless image, you allow yourself to be seen as you truly are. This kind of honesty creates opportunities for deeper connections with others. People are drawn to authenticity, not perfection, because it reminds them that they too are enough. When you show up as your imperfect self, you inspire others to do the same. This kind of mutual vulnerability creates a space where growth can happen for everyone involved. Moreover, embracing your imperfections means shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, this is who I am and I can't change. But a growth mindset recognizes that imperfection is not a permanent state, it's an evolving process. When you see yourself as a work in progress, you stop judging yourself so harshly. Instead, you become motivated to take small steps toward your goals, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is part of your progress. Ultimately, embracing imperfection is an act of self-love. It's a way of saying to yourself, I don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love and growth. It frees you from the exhausting pursuit of perfection and gives you the courage to show up for yourself and your dreams, flaws and all. Your imperfections are not something to be ashamed of. They are your strength. They are what make you unique, relatable, and human. When you embrace them, you unlock your potential for growth, transformation, and a deeper, more fulfilling life. Vulnerability often gets a bad reputation. It's frequently misunderstood as weakness or fragility, as though showing your true feelings or exposing your struggles somehow diminishes your strength. But vulnerability is far from weakness. It is one of the most courageous and powerful things you can do. It's the foundation of genuine connection, personal growth, and authentic living. To be vulnerable is to be brave enough to say, this is me, fully and unapologetically, despite the risks of judgment, rejection, or misunderstanding. Let's start by acknowledging what vulnerability really means. It's not about oversharing or exposing yourself recklessly. Vulnerability is the act of showing up honestly and fully in your life. It's about admitting when you need help, expressing your emotions, sharing your dreams, and owning your mistakes. It takes immense courage to do these things because they expose your most authentic self. And in a world that often rewards perfection and self-reliance, this can feel terrifying. But the truth is, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It's a profound declaration of strength. Why is vulnerability powerful? Because it's the ultimate act of trust. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you're trusting that your worth doesn't depend on other people's approval or understanding. You're saying, I am enough even if I'm not perfect. This trust in yourself builds resilience. It allows you to navigate challenges and setbacks with grace because you're no longer pretending to have it all together. Instead, you're embracing the reality that being human means being imperfect, and that's where real strength lies. Vulnerability is also the gateway to connection. Think about the moments when you felt closest to someone. Chances are those moments involved a shared sense of openness and honesty. Connection doesn't happen when we present a flawless facade. It happens when we let others see our true selves. When you're vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same, creating relationships that are deep, meaningful, and authentic. It takes courage to let your guard down, but the rewards, a sense of belonging and intimacy, are worth it. Another reason vulnerability is a testament to strength is that it requires you to face uncertainty and risk. Whether it's sharing your feelings, pursuing a dream, or trying something new, vulnerability means stepping into the unknown without guarantees. This kind of bravery builds confidence over time. Each time you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you prove to yourself that you can handle the outcome, whether it's success, failure, or something in between. Finally, vulnerability is the birthplace of growth and creativity. When you're willing to take risks and embrace uncertainty, you open yourself up to new opportunities and perspectives. Growth doesn't happen in the safety of your comfort zone. It happens when you step into the unknown, fully aware of the risks, but confident in your ability to navigate them. Vulnerability fuels creativity, innovation, and transformation because it allows you to explore what's possible without fear of failure holding you back. To be vulnerable is to be strong. It's choosing to show up even when the outcome is uncertain. It's trusting yourself even when you feel afraid. And it's connecting with others in a way that brings true meaning to your life. Vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's the boldest, bravest thing you can do. Self-love is not just a personal endeavor. It's a transformative force that extends far beyond yourself. When you cultivate self-love, the benefits radiate into every corner of your life, touching your relationships, work, goals, and even the people around you. It's like throwing a stone into a still pond. The ripples reach further than you might imagine. The power of self-love is profound because it doesn't just change your internal world, it reshapes how you interact with the external one. At its core, self-love teaches you to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. When you truly value yourself, you begin to protect your energy and time. You learn to say no to things that drain you and yes to things that align with your values and aspirations. This shift creates a healthier, more balanced life where you're no longer overextending yourself to meet others' expectations. Instead, you're making choices that honor your needs and desires. This isn't selfish, it's essential. When you take care of yourself, you show up more fully for the people and responsibilities that matter most. Self-love also transforms your relationships. When you love yourself, you stop seeking external validation to fill internal voids. You're no longer dependent on others to make you feel worthy or whole. This change allows your relationships to thrive because they're no longer built on neediness or insecurity. Instead, they're rooted in mutual respect, trust, and authenticity. When you come from a place of self-love, you're able to give and receive love more freely without fear of rejection or loss. You also attract healthier relationships because you no longer tolerate disrespect or neglect. You know what you deserve, and you're not afraid to demand it. In your professional life, self-love empowers you to pursue goals that align with your true passions and purpose. It helps you silence the inner critic that says you're not good enough and instead focus on what you're capable of achieving. When you believe in your worth, you're more likely to take risks, embrace challenges, and push past your comfort zone. Self-love fuels confidence, which is essential for growth and success. It also helps you navigate setbacks with resilience because you know that your worth isn't tied to any single achievement or failure. The ripple effect of self-love doesn't stop with you. It extends to the people around you. When you embody self-love, you inspire others to do the same. Your confidence and authenticity create a safe space for others to embrace their true selves. Whether you realize it or not, your actions set an example. When people see you honoring your boundaries, prioritizing your well-being, and showing up authentically, they're encouraged to do the same. In this way, self-love becomes a collective force for positive change. Ultimately, self-love creates a life of alignment and fulfillment. It allows you to live with intention, clarity, and purpose. It strengthens your connections with others, empowers you to chase your dreams, and fosters a sense of inner peace that radiates outward. The power of self-love is not just personal, it's transformational. It has the potential to change your life and inspire those around you, creating a ripple effect that touches the world. Self-love is not just a concept. It's a way of life that reshapes everything it touches. It's the foundation upon which courage, authenticity, and connection are built. It's the key to embracing your imperfections, allowing vulnerability to fuel your strength, and creating ripples of positivity that extend far beyond yourself. When you choose self-love, you're making a powerful statement that you are worthy just as you are. You're claiming your right to exist fully and unapologetically in this world. You're giving yourself permission to grow, to dream, to fail, and to rise again. And in doing so, you inspire others to find that same courage within themselves. The power of self-love isn't confined to your inner world. It flows outward, enriching your relationships, guiding your decisions, and shaping a life aligned with your true purpose. It transforms how you see yourself, how you engage with others, and how you impact the world around you. So, embrace the journey of self-love. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. With every act of compassion toward yourself, every moment of vulnerability, and every choice to honor your worth, you're not just changing your life. You're creating a legacy of empowerment and connection that will ripple through the lives of others. Remember, self-love is not just power. It's your superpower. Use it boldly, live it fully, and let it light the way for yourself and those around you.